we delve into the techniques of closing, let's see if we can understand exactly what a close is. Firstly, a close is not something that happens at the end of a sale. Closing happens throughout the sales process. It's not some magical question that you can ask a customer that will trick them into signing your order form. Closing questions are questions you ask a customer that confirm that they agree with you, or that they're ready to move to the next stage in the sales process. Ultimately, of course, a good closing question is one that you ask a customer that confirms that they're ready to buy. Indeed, as J. Douglas Edwards, that famous American sales trainer, once said, questions are the answer. And closing questions are really the techniques that you need to focus on throughout your sales process. In fact, we could say the golden rule for selling is ABC. Always be closing. Now, closing techniques for a salesperson could be compared to punching techniques for a boxer. The more punches you know and the more able you are to use them, the better boxer you will be. The same is true for salespeople. The more closes you know, the more able you are to use them, the more likely you are to be a champion salesperson. In fact, imagine what would happen if you only knew one punching technique. Say a straight right. You throw your best punch and your opponent is still standing looking at you. With only that one technique available to you, you are in big trouble. Now, to stick with this analogy, let's also consider what boxers do with their punches. They put them into combinations and throw them one after the other. This keeps their opponent on the move and scores more points more often. So therefore, in selling, we're looking for as many opportunities as possible to ask more questions. And talking of questions, the one thing that nobody taught me on any sales training course is that the best questions to ask are ones to which I already know the answer. That's right. As salespeople, we're all taught to ask lots of questions. But what I recognized studying the champion salespeople is they could easily anticipate the response they were going to get from customers to the questions that they asked. Once again, this matches our comparison to the boxer. A good boxer will be able to anticipate an opponent's response to his attack, then he can plan his own defense and counter-attack accordingly. Imagine not just knowing what questions to ask, but being able to predict what response you're going to get from the customer, putting you one step ahead when planning your next question.